I'm Wazhma Frogh, and I'm very honored to contribute a piece for the WPS at 25 and Canada's CNAP 3, Feminist Reflections on Progress and Gaps. And I'm talking about the role of women in local peace building as well as the peace processes in Afghanistan, where the main argument is that like the women groups, women-led initiatives and women leaders in Afghanistan for the past 20 years particularly have been mobilizing, have been creating those leadership opportunities as well as engagement for local women within the different parts of the country so that they can actually contribute to the local peace but also impact the national peace processes. And while there was an indigenous, very much locally rooted peace process was ongoing, but Afghan women have been sidelined and excluded from the international peace process, the international peace process that was actually managed by the international community in 2020 and 2021, that excluded the voices and the roles and the contribution of these women. And I'm starting this piece with sharing experiences of one of our community facilitators who is working right now on the ground, even under the harshest regime of the Taliban, which does not allow women to do any kind of community work, any kind of political work, any kind of social and cultural, or any other activity outside home. But these women have been using the experiences, the skills, and the opportunities of the past 20 years to continue to mobilize themselves, to come together, and also use their homes as spaces where they can actually support each other, mobilize, and become a source of hope and solidarity for other women who are going through very harsh conditions, but also supporting their community at large. Women who are trying to prevent their sons from going to the Taliban madrasas, for example, that are training these young boys into extremists, or women are trying to educate their girls even inside home so that the women have some sort of access to education. And in this piece, I'm also talking about the how the women groups and the local women-led initiatives use the international laws, or UN Security Resolution 1325 and others, its consequent resolutions, to support women's leadership in the security sector, particularly, for example. A national action plan that Afghanistan created in Canada has been one of the key partners in pushing, for the implementation as well as the resourcing of the national action plan in getting women into the security sector, or women into the leadership positions within the justice, within the defense and security, and for example, as a Canadian partner in Afghanistan, we were able to get 3,000 women into the security sector. And I'm also writing about experiences of women who have been actually taking risks in terms of engaging with the Canadian Armed Forces, with the NATO, for example, and bringing their community perspectives and bringing the ideas as well as the early warning signs from their communities on those patterns, on those trends that are impacting their security and stability in the community. And the linkage with the international laws like UNSCR 1325 and other resolution has been also very much an important collaboration that Afghan women made in the past 20 years. And sadly, those roles and contributions that women in Afghanistan made have been very much sidelined. And when it comes to WPS conversation right now internationally, Afghan women are missing from that conversation, while they have been such an important partner for Canada, NATO, and many other international partners in the past 20 years. And some of the recommendations that I'm presenting in this piece particularly for Canada, has been about Canada's role and responsibilities in terms of a global champion for WPS, and how Canada's feminist foreign policy, feminist international assistance policy, all of these have been tools for women's leadership and women's feminist leadership, and not just in Canada, but across the globe. And Canada is seen as a leader in WPS. And using that leadership, Canada needs to leverage that leadership in terms of pushing, for example, for the CEDAW case at the ICJ, where Canada, Netherlands, Germany, and Australia are partners and trying to push for, a CEDAW violation case. And similarly, support to the women-led initiatives and women-led organizations, because they are the key for women's agencies in any part of the world. We cannot bring change from the outside. The change happens from inside, but those resources are something that women organizations and women-led initiatives need.